Hello everybody, Ivan Oberon here, co-founder of Steadfast Capital, certified coach, speaker, and trainer for the John Maxwell team, and seasoned real estate investor. I have some questions for you today. Have you ever found yourself at the end of the day thinking, man, I just feel like this entire day got robbed from me due to a lack of productivity? How about a whole week? A month? How about now that we're this far into the year, have you ever thought to yourself, man, the whole year has been robbed from me. I'm no further along than I was a year ago. And that bothers you. How about this? Have you ever been sitting there at the end of the day thinking to yourself, man, I was so busy today, but what in the heck do I have to show for it? I've been there myself. And that's really what happens when you confuse activity with productivity. And I can assure you they're two very different things. The law of priorities illustrates that activity is not necessarily accomplishment. And that's really what we're after. We're not after how busy we were today. Sometimes it makes us feel good, right? At the end of the day, we pat ourselves on the back and think, man, I was so busy today, this is great. But in reality, we know that it's whatever we actually produced. What that activity produced in accomplishment is what makes us feel good about ourselves and is what actually takes us forward into our goals. So now that you know how much this lack of productivity is costing you, the next question I have for you is, would you like to learn how to increase your productivity by 100% in the next 90 days or less? If you answered yes to that question, then get yourself a piece of paper, something to take notes on, because what I'm about to share with you is a formula that I learned from one of my mentors and kind of added some things to, and that I give to my elite and platinum coaching clients. So this is good stuff. The great thing about this formula too is that it's so simple to implement. As long as you do it consistently, it will produce those results. So what's the first thing we got to do? The first thing you got to start doing is getting 50 minutes more sleep every night. Consistently. Okay, it's all about consistency. All these good things take time to build up in your body and your mind. So if you're not getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep every night, consistently, I'm not saying once a week or twice a week, consistently for weeks and weeks at a time, then you're depriving yourself of the vibrance that you can have during the day, the focus and the energy that your mind and your body needs in order for you to be the most productive. There's a reason for this, I think, and part of that reason is that we don't go to sleep the right way. What do I mean? What's the last thing that you look at, or that most people look at, right before they go to bed? Typically it's their cell phone, their tablets, or maybe they just spent several hours in front of the TV. And even though you might be super tired and maybe you go to sleep right away because you're so tired, your mind and your subconscious takes a while to shut down and unwind. And therefore it robs you of that more productive sleep. That should make sense. So the next thing, now that you're going to be getting more sleep, is how do you start off your day? And one of my mentors, Tony Robbins, which I'm sure you're all familiar with, he calls this the power hour. And Brian Tracy, another one of my mentors, says that the first hour, the first section of the day really becomes the rudder of the day, right? It steers kind of how the day is going to go for you. So here's how I start it. Here's the power hour. Now, it could be an hour. I know some people that do 2 or 3 hours, but a good hour is a good place to start. The way I start it is typically through some devotionals and some centering of myself. Then I go into something that is educational, motivational, or inspirational. So after my devotionals, I'll usually start and I'll read a book. Not science fiction or fiction, just a book that will help me get forward in my given chosen field. So something that's going to motivate you, something that's going to educate you, and whatever it is that you do, make sure you're reading. Right? Because we all know that readers are leaders, and it's going to help you, and it's going to help set off your day. The next thing you got to do is set your goals. I usually write my goals down after this. And yes, we're talking big picture goals, but also your goals for the day. So this is the time where you want to outline your day and schedule it. Who do you have to call? Who do you need to reach out to that will help you move forward in a specific project or goal that you have this day to help you take that one further step forward in whatever particular thing that you're doing. You have to be intentional about these things. Okay, don't go to your inbox and just wait for somebody to email you. Maybe there's a specific email response that you're waiting for from somebody specific to get you to that goal, to that next step. But don't just wait for your inbox to get full and then react. Okay, you gotta be proactive instead of reactive. That's another reason you want to start off your day early like that, because what happens when you wake up late or you don't get all the things you need to get to in the morning? You start in a very reactive mode and it totally throws your whole day off. Because now people are calling you and your email inbox is going off and all that kind of stuff. It can be very disruptive to your day. So now you've taken care of that, you're into your day. Now this is what my mentor Brendan calls 50-minute power blocks. And what he means by that is you gotta schedule 50 minutes of uninterrupted work on a specific project and a specific thing or task that you need to accomplish that day. If you think you're a great multitasker, I'm going to suggest that you're kidding yourself, because we can't multitask effectively. We need to focus on something until it's done. So block out 50 minutes without interruptions. You shut your phone off, you turn it over, you ignore it, you shut your Facebook off, all your social media, and you focus on that particular project, whatever it might be for you, for that 50 minutes. Guarantee you this will change your life if you start doing this. The next thing is you got to take a break about every 50 minutes. That's why those power blocks are cut into 50 minutes. Because every 50 minutes you want to step away, shake it off a little bit, get a drink of water, maybe stretch out, maybe do something to change your physiology, and then boom, you sit back down and you get into your next 50-minute power block. Okay, this is just a short period, maybe 5-10 minutes at the most. This isn't supposed to be a holiday, okay guys? Because what happens is if you step away for too long, you get too distracted. The problem into getting back and getting productive again is that it takes you maybe 30-40 minutes before you can really get productive again. So be careful with that kind of stuff. The next thing is, are you getting at least 50 minutes of exercise every day? I know this is a tough one for some of us, but 50 minutes is a good place to start. It could be walking, it could be jumping jacks, push-ups, it could be little things around your house. There's so many body weight exercises that you can do at home, and that you can do it for 50 minutes. You can do some strength training, whatever it is, just get yourselves active. Okay, your body needs that activity to flush out toxins, to energize itself, to bring oxygen to your brain. I can tell you that most of my ideas, however many I've had, many of them come to me when I'm actually working out, because that's when I'm at my most creative because of the oxygen and the blood flow. You start to feel good, you unplug, you get out there, and those creative ideas come to you, and it carries on to the next day. I guarantee you, I promise you, if you're not actively exercising, and then of course, combining that with some proper nutrition, right? That's the other key thing, and we can do a whole nother video on that. You're not gonna get what you need. Your body doesn't get what it needs, and you're gonna start seeing, that's why you kind of drop off in the middle of the day, right after lunch or something. When you hit all these points, you'll notice you have kind of a sustained level of energy that stays with you. You don't have those crashes. You also don't have the peaks. So you get to be a lot more productive during the day. So there you go, guys. Those are 5 things, little tweaks to your schedule that you can start doing right away. You can start doing this tomorrow by going to bed a little bit earlier tonight. And so I have one final question for you. Will you do it? Will you take action on these very simple but proven formula to increase your productivity by 100% in 90 days or less? Because remember this, the biggest gap between where you are now and the success that you're looking for is the gap between what you now know after spending these few minutes with me and what you actually do with it. So I encourage you, hold your vision for what you want to create in your life and go take action. Leave some comments in the video below if you will, please. Follow me on Facebook. Reach out to me if you want to learn any more about this, or if you have any questions for me. I'm always happy to connect with you. So until the next video, be well.